Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I went to see the film Epic, and I was a little bit dubious at first, and I had my misconceptions. I wasn't really sure whether I was going to like the film or not, but there are so many references here to good versus evil and metaphysics. Um, it's a very spiritual film, and it's very profound, and it's actually quite brainy. The character design is absolutely gorgeous, particularly that of Tara. I absolutely fell in love with Tara. I just loved her from the moment I laid eyes on her. I just felt that she was such an ethereal character, and she was the perfect life of the forest. That's what she was. And I won't give away any spoilers because that'll just ruin the film for everybody. But if you're a lover of nature like myself and you find yourself more comfortable in the presence of nature, then this film is right up your alley. There are lots of forest creatures that just make it just that much more um, extraordinary, and it gave me chills. It really did. I thought, whoo! It was actually good chills, and I absolutely adored it. The music was just absolutely perfect and beautiful, done by Danny Elfman. I knew that it was his work because they had the signature style that he uses, and the scene where the leafmen are on the backs of their hummingbirds. It was very Irish step dancey, and I really liked that. It had a folk song quality. It was really well done. It had a nice driving beat, and it worked well with just the flight and the feeling of freedom, and it just was absolutely incredible, and I was very touched by it. I consider this film very esoteric, metaphysical. I consider it a spiritual film. It's just amazing and awesome. I mean, the visuals in this are just spellbinding. They are so stunning, and the story is, a tale as old as time itself. But um, you've got the boggarts, and if you've read fairy tales, you know that boggarts are not really pleasant creatures to encounter. In fact, they are downright nasty. And in this case, you've got this ruler known as Mandrake, and Mandrake is a megalomaniac, and he rules the world of death, dark, and decay. And he's just not a very kind creature. He's just wry and twisted and sardonic, and you just love to hate him because he's a jerk. Um, all these different characters are just absolutely fantastic. Mub and Grub, the snail and the slug. Oh my goodness, the perfect comedy reliefs like Abbott and Costello. I loved it. The dynamic duo of comedy. Um, I liked Nib, the keeper of the scrolls. He's like the eccentric uncle who is a scholar. Then you've got the mad scientist who believes in a world that his daughter, Mary Catherine, does not believe that this world exists at all. And when he starts talking about frequencies, holy moly, he's talking about physics here. And I thought, what? Hold on a minute. You are breaching the world of physics, and you're getting into some pretty heady science here, buddy. Which, I read books about this sort of thing all the time, so to me I'm like, ah, yay, my favorite thing, physics. So when people start talking this way, I immediately light up, and I become really excited, and it doesn't take much. If you do that, then I am putty in your hands. I love the world of physics. Um, it gets into that, and this how the leafmen are living in a different kind of frequency, and it gets into that whole idea of different universes, that whole theory, multiverses. I thought, oh my goodness. In a child's film, of all places. I thought, holy crud. It is just absolutely mind-boggling. And I absolutely loved it. And this is definitely a film that brainier people can really be impressed by if you're a scholar like myself and you read a lot and you're really into quantum physics. Yeah, this will be right up your alley. It talks about interconnectivity and my favorite line from this film, and I'm going to be quoting it quite a bit, is many leaves, one tree. And there's so much truth in that. I think people should really do that more often and realize that we're all human beings. And then he says, we're all different parts, but we're all connected, which is true, because even though we might not realize it, one action can, that's the butterfly effect in motion, and one action can lead to a humongous effect, a reaction, way down the line, God only knows where. But there are lots of different notions in this that are very profound, and if you read a lot, then you'll catch on to these little nuances. But it's really a stunning film. It is splendiferous in every way, shape, and form. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, hands down. Voice acting in this was absolutely exceptional. It was extraordinary. Character design, like I said before, is just sumptuous. I just was in a state of awe the entire time, even with the boggarts and their decaying, decrepit world, and how disgusting and vile it was, and just very unnerving. But just the way the contrast between those worlds and how they balanced it out was just so flawlessly done that I just think that it was a work of art. This is another sleeper, but I think that everybody can enjoy it. There might be some things that little children might get a little bit frightened of, particularly Mandrake. Mandrake is very intimidating, and he is the villain of villains, I think. He's probably one of the best villains I've seen on screen in a good long time, and you just love to loathe him with this seething hatred, just because he wants everything to rot and decay and die. And you're like, ugh, what is wrong with you? Why are you like this? Did you not get hugged as a grub or something? I mean, it's kind of funny because they talk about when they're young, their little larvae, their grubs, and I thought Homestuck, but all right, I'm kind of obsessed with that right now. But I thought, were you not hugged enough as a grub, and then you you grew into this wretched thing that you have no soul, basically. That's what Mandrake is. Mandrake has no soul. Mandrake has no he just is inhumane, and he just doesn't care. He just wants everything to die. Yeah, nice guy. Real peach. But and he's got the Leafmen, these brave, noble soldiers of the forest to protect it. But my favorite character, besides Mary Catherine, I've absolutely, she and Nob, ship him. I don't care if it's an odd relationship, doesn't matter. I ship them. My favorite character, well, Ronan was pretty awesome himself, just because he's built on the model of an actual Ronin. If you know anything about Ronin themselves, he is the very stoic, silent type hero, lives by a code of honor and all that. My ultimate favorite character was Queen Tara, and she just was, very angelic, graceful, ethereal, kind of this muse-like character. She just, that design for her dress, oh my gosh, just so beautiful. It just was absolutely glorious. I thought, how long did that take to do? And she showed herself as being strong too. She was no pushover. She could fend for herself if she had to. She was tough. And I thought, wow, I like this. You know, she can be beautiful and she can be strong. So I really love that about her characters. It's a good role model for girls. Mary Catherine too. It showed, you know, she too. She had this spirit about her, spunky, and she stood up to a mouse. But yeah, there's a scene with her and Nob, and it was just really, really good. And then it showed how dangerous mice actually were in the world of Leafman. There's just so much that's going on in this story that's really interesting and intriguing, and it just traps you in this world of magic, and it's just miraculous to look at, and it's the, the depth of the color and the contrast between the world of the Leafman versus the world of the Bogarts, and the darkness and all that decay and desolation. There's nothing there. It's just ominous and terrifying. But it's a good balance between the two. You have to have one, or you have to have both, and that's, you're getting into chaos theory there. But they kind of just brush upon that very, very lightly. It's just a tiny mention. But it's you know, the balance between the two. You have to have one or you can't have the other. And the ending was awesome, and just the relationship between MK and her father. And I love her dad. Her dad is just the greatest character ever. He's just I found a lot of myself in his character too, because I get really excited about physics and science and the unknown, and he's all about the unknown, and he says, oh, you can't, you know, there are these there's a society of beings that live within the forest who, you know, they have they're an evolved species. And of course, the daughter's like, all right, Daddy, I don't believe you in anything that you say. You're off your rocker. Get out of town. You're just totally, totally psycho. I don't believe you. And it's crazy. No, she doesn't sound anything like that, but I just thought I would do a little Valley Girl thing. Um, but it's just such an amazing film, and I recommend it. Um, it's probably the best film I have seen, best animated film, and I'm hoping to God it gets an Annie. If anything, it should get an Annie. Um, Other than that, Epic is definitely worth your time to see, especially in the theater, because it just takes your breath away.